Hey everybody, so we're gonna do a drawing of Yoshi today in Super Mario, and we'll take a look here. I have a character here to bring up. There's Yoshi, our friend, our pal Yoshi, and I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. I got some Mario music in the background to play for us, and we'll get started. So this is just a calm, relaxed Yoshi, and when I draw a Yoshi or any kind of cartoon character, I try to get my spacing set up, and so I'm just kind of roughly thinking about how big to make him. I want to make him so he can fit on screen, so maybe I made him a little bit too big here in my drawing. So let's make him a little smaller. So his head kind of has to go here, and then his body can go down here. So I made him a little bit too big initially because I'm looking at the paper rather than the screen. So I'll make that a little smaller, and his feet come down here. Okay, so that's a little bit better sizing. We'll get his tail in there. Alright, so when I draw a Mario or Yoshi or any character, I'm thinking about how the lines relate to each other, and where the position of those lines is going to make it look like them or not. And if something looks a little off, it probably means our lines are a little off. And that means like their eye line to the nose or to the cheeks. And maybe it's a little too much or a little too less. So that's called spatial reasoning. So a lot of those guidelines I started off with, I call these guidelines, are when you do a little soft line and jot it in, get an idea of where things are going to go. It kind of guides you in the next line you're going to make. So this is going to be his hand is going to be right about here, the other hand over here. And I'll have to clean those lines up afterward. Cleaning them up just means erasing them. And this is the old 8-bit image of Yoshi. 8-bit means that simple kind of look with coloring. Old video game style. And this line's right up against the edge of that other line. The line kind of comes down and just a little bump there to show where the hand starts. And the arm kind of stopped. And he's kind of got like one finger sticking out. The thumb about here. It can be a little tricky when you're drawing with a pencil for like one with thick lines, because then you have to double the line up a little bit, make it stand out more. So I can throw off the spacing of your lines as well. So it starts to emerge where the right spot is as you go. And from the edge of that little point of the hand, there's a little triangle line there. This is where the leg and the boot meet. The heel and the big toe of the boot or the shoe. There we go, that was going a little bit better. And then there's the back of the leg, right here. When the line comes to kind of like a point like that, it's kind of where the surface planes are changing. So it's going from the leg edge to then of the tail, I guess Yoshi is a dinosaur, so it's like a friendly dinosaur kind of creature. Kind of like Koopa Troopas. It looks like there's 2 triangle spines. There we go. And then the line of the eye comes right up over here. And that eye comes, the kind of like the cover of the eye curves up around. The most recognizable thing about Yoshi is his big round nose, and it's tricky because it's actually not all that round. It's kind of like an ovally kind of line, kind of flat here. So you don't want to make it too round. But getting that curve, the ellipses, right. Because when it's not right, it doesn't quite look right. And if my drawing's off, it might be in those kinds of areas. Starting to come together. I'm just dotting in where the color change happens between green and white. And then on his back, there's the turtle shell. Or, well, kind of, I think of it as a turtle shell, but it's a saddle. They use a lot of turtle-y kind of things in Mario. But I don't think it's an actual turtle shell. A little less round there. Alright, that looks a little bit better. And like I say, I have to go back and clean up those lines so it doesn't look as nose kind of in that range. And I gotta get his other foot in here. You can see where that one, the bottom sole doesn't go to the sole of the other shoe, so they're just above each other, kind of like that. And I'll get his other hand in here. So he's got the thumb. If you look at the line here where the thumb is, this thumb is coming out just above that other one. So if I go here, just a little above, and then it's kind of like like that. Yeah, I think they're looking pretty good. So if I like the look of it, I'll darken those lines. Put those dotted line in for the tail, the white underneath, this white chest, and then the white eye area. And I'll shade in the eye after. Now, I don't know if I have my eraser here. I'll look. I do! So I can clean up my image a little bit. And a good little tip is when you're erasing with an eraser like this, it's good to push away, because if you go back and forth, sometimes it catches the paper and it will like crinkle it. If you've ever had that happen, it's upsetting when that happens. It might damage your paper. So I'm just going to take this lightly and rub that around. I'm rubbing it away. And that's the other thing. This is a vinyl eraser, and the white vinyl, it picks up, it really absorbs the graphite from the pencil off the paper, but then sometimes it will rub it back in and you'll get these smudge lines. So that's where you might want to go in softly and just kind of try to clean that up. And if it gets too much, just take your thumb and rub it over the surface. If it gets dirty, it'll clean up the actual eraser. It's pretty upsetting when you're trying to clean the line, then it gets dirtier on your page. That's why I didn't darken the lines until I've done this, because it might smudge some of those lines, the pencil lines around it. So I'm trying to keep it nice and clean. Then that lets me go back and I can color it later. If I want to add color to it, pencil crowns or something, I can go in and add some color. I think that might be a fun thing to follow up with. This is pretty quick drawing, and then that way I can add it in later. There we go. It looks a little bit better that way. And maybe I'll shade it in slightly. This line's a little off up there. It only comes down to about here, and then it's kind of the light white and green line. And I'm just doing a little shadow work. There is a little bit of a shadow around some parts of the foot. And if I add color to this, it will really stand out. I think that's what we'll do next time. So I'll add a part 2 to this. There we go. It's a Yoshi. Alright, hope you enjoyed drawing, and I'll see you later.